Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, where we're taking a look at the hymns we'll be using in worship tomorrow. And we're going to start with our sending hymn, The Church of Christ in Every Age. And this hymn was intended to tackle the relationship between Sabbath and Sunday. So that could be a wide open door, right? And the tune was produced from English psalmists. And it's quite durable and sturdy, but it still has a warm feel to it, and it's friendly. So it's been named for the birthplace of the composer, which is Wareham, and it's been paired with more than 100 different texts. So this tune appears in many places. The Church of Christ in Every Age. A markedly jazz version of that. And next we'll move to our communion hymn, and that is Welcome Table. Welcome Table comes from our worship supplement, All Creation Sings, and we've sung it several times, so it's becoming lesser of a new hymn, if you will. So this is a song that sings of feasting at the Lord's table, as you might have guessed, but it's not just about the sacramental table alone. It sings of the eternal banquet at the end of time, and just a reminder that the Israelites were promised milk and honey in the land just over Jordan, and Isaiah prophesies an abundant feast where death would be no more, and the wedding banquet in Matthew shows a vision of the reign of God where no one is turned away. So for the people who were enslaved, this is actually a spiritual, and they created this song. The scriptural images that I just mentioned have even deeper meaning about freedom and escape to them, given what they were dealing with. And we sing this song in hope of the time when some of these days, which is actually a quote from the text, all will be welcome to the feast of the Lord at both earthly and heavenly tables. Welcome, table. Sing along nice and loud tomorrow when we do that. Next, we're going to move over to the organ, but I'll tell you about the gathering hymn first. All are welcome. And this was, quote, an attempt to write a text that reflects the welcome to the table fellowship that Jesus offered unconditionally to everyone. That comes from Marty Haugen, who actually wrote this hymn. It was originally 13 stanzas long, and see, it wasn't always just the old hymns that had all those stanzas from poetry. Even this, as a newer hymn, had 13 stanzas. And the intention that he had in mind was that he wanted to model the service that we have: gathering, word, meal, and sending. This particular was a new tune and a new text, so that it all went together. And the tune name is Two Oaks, and that came because his aunt and uncle gave their Michigan home this name as the home faces two large, beautiful oak trees. And as the story goes, it is dedicated to his aunt and uncle, but apparently the publisher wanted him to do that. That really wasn't what he wanted to do. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the way the story goes. So Two Oaks, all are welcome. Switching over to the organ. through all sorts of keys there. And a nice kind of walking piece, which leads us to our last hymn, a hymn of the day, Let Us Ever Walk with Jesus. And this hymn was actually written for Passiontide. It's based on Luke 18, and it has references to death and resurrections, which are recalled in Romans 6, and the Lenten journey toward baptism of Easter Vigil. So the stanzas were translated way back in 1910, and the quarter note pattern of this is sort of like a walking, marching to somewhere. The quarter note pattern lends itself well to that walk or the journey that we have with Christ. So let us ever walk with Jesus. So that brings us to a close for today. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed and you learned something that maybe you didn't know before. If you're joining us for worship tomorrow in person, that is at 8:30 and 10:30 in the sanctuary. And of course, the 10:30 service will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining. We'll talk again next week.